Hello my fellow hunters, today we want to talk about the best Switch X DPS build, the best Switch X for Monster Hunter Rise. I'm not sure whether it's the best, but I heard a lot of in Reddit posts that it seems to be the best Switch X, and today we do the complete entire morph of the Knight's Crescent, all possible builds, augmentations, and yes, how the morph is going. I also talk about general about Switch X skills, how they changed from World to Rise. And yes, first of all we talk a little about general about the Knight's Crescent. This weapon has absolutely insane affinity, 40% affinity, no element, a poison file, level 2 slot, and white sharpness. You don't need any handicraft. But before we go more into deep, I wanna talk about Power Prolonger. Power Prolonger is heavily buffed in Monster Hunter Rise. If you remember in World, if you doesn't have equipped any Power Prolonger, the Switch X stays in empty state for 45 seconds. And Power Prolonger level 3 increases the duration to 40%. And if you had Power Prolonger level 3 in World, the duration was exactly 60 seconds. And now you can see Power Prolonger level 1 in Rise is barely the same duration like Power Prolonger 3 in World. So all in all, I have to say the Nagakuga Switch X loads the Amped Gouge extremely fast because it hasn't a power file. The poison file loads extremely fast. I can show it you later in the video. And I think if you're playing Nagakuga Swags, Power Prolonger is absolutely not needed. I had Power Prolonger level 1 on my build because I think Power Prolonger 1 is very okayish. You get an entire minute, and I think that's absolutely okay. You don't need Power Prolonger 2 or 3. I think the first level is absolutely okay, and you don't need any better levels for Switch X. Also, I think we don't need any focus because, yes, you only need 2 or 3 hits to fully load the gouge from the end state, and yes, focus is not needed. Okay, that was about the focus Power Prolonger skills, and now to the Razor Sharp skill. I think Razor Sharp heavily depends on your playstyle, what you're playing, and if you very often switches from X into Sword mode, I recommend it, but I personally play 90% of the time in Sword mode because of the Invisible Gambit, or I don't know, the Switch Charger where you can upload your gouge, and yes, so you don't have to stay in the X mode for a long time. Yes, I don't know how good is the Diabolos X, but today I want to do the full morph of Nagakuga Switch X. I write at the bottom of the video, the complete data is from the training area. Yes, and first of all I'm gonna explain all that calculations, and at the end of the video I'm gonna show you my skills. But first of all, I have a disclaimer or a hint. I don't know what's the exact name in English, but this video is only made for users who had a weakness exploit 1 charm. So if you have a weakness exploit 2 charm, there is very more potential than shown in this video. So if I anytime got a WEX 2 jewel, I'm gonna make another video and maybe this morph completely changes. So please pay attention to that. This video is only if you have weakness exploit 1 jewel. So don't write any negative comments if you don't have recognized that what I've said actually. Yes. And also this morph is only for crit boost 2. For me personally, it's absolutely impossible to reach crit boost 3 in a set and weakness exploit 3. So also the maximum potential of the set is weakness exploit 3 and critical boost level 2. Now, first of all, I'm gonna talk about the sharpness and the skills. First of all, the Nagakuga Switch Axe has 20 hit of natural white hits and 60 hits of purple. So I absolutely recommend using Razor Sharp on a Switch Axe. Also, if you have known the site game8.ko, they also recommend Razor Sharp. I also personally played in World Base Game a lot of Razor Sharp, like on the Xeno weapon. Switch Axe is a fast hitting weapon, so please use Razor Sharp on the Nagakuga Switch Axe. It gives you so much more potential. I've also put all the calculations for 40 hits of white sharpness and 40 hits of blue sharpness. So I've tested it in a run when I found monsters with randoms. I always of the time made about 80 hits, and after that 80 hits the monster changed the area and you can sharp without speed sharpening or other stuff. So all that calculations based on Razor Sharp level 3 and 40 hits of white sharpness and 40 hits of blue sharpness, and also I calculate at the end the average of the damage. I have made 3 sets, but first of all, to make it easy, I tested what is the best augmentation for your weapon. Is it attack augmentation or affinity augmentation? For everybody or everyone who doesn't know what's augmentation, you can go to the smithy, talk to them and go to ramp up weapons, set rampage skills, enable your weapon, and now you can see that's like in World Base Game your augmentation system, and you can see the natural values of the weapon is 180 true raw. You can increase that if you use attack boost level 3 to 188, or you can use affinity boost level 2 and you got a 6% increase of affinity. So the first thing I've checked is what's better, augment to affinity or augment to attack boost. Important thing I have to mention is that we are using a special helmet. Oh sorry, I'm not sure. It's the Golden Hakama, and the Golden Hakama have latent power level 1, and I've tested it. Latent power triggered about I think 80 or 90% of the entire time in the quest, and you get 10% affinity. So latent power level 1 is absolutely godlike in Rise. It's an absolutely insane good skill, and it's very nice that it comes with critical boost. So I have 30% on the Nagakuga weapon, 50 from critical weakness exploit, and the 10% from the skill, from the latent power skill. But in the training room we can't trigger that latent power skill, and all calculations I made don't include the latent power skill. To get a better overview. So the first important thing, don't augment to affinity if you're using Nagakuga Switch Axe. I created 3 different sets. I talk about the skills. On the first set we have attack augmentation, attack boost 4, 90% crit, critical boost level 2, poison attack level 3. Poison attack doesn't matter, it doesn't increase your file damage or your attack anyways. In general, it only shortens the time you can inflict a poison status to the monster. And the bad thing is on the Nagakuga Switch Axe, we doesn't have a element, we only have poison on our file and not on our weapon. When I go here, I can show you my equipment info. You can see we only have file type poison file, but no element. So we don't do any more damage if we are pushing up our poison attack. I've done it because we don't need speed sharpening 3, so you can inflict that status faster. I make a shortcut and continue the video later. Now welcome to the second half of my video. Yes, I've also razor sharp on all of my builds. On the second build I've augmented to attack, so we have 188 true raw, and yes, we have attack boost 7 instead of attack boost 4, but we doesn't have crit boost level 2, so we don't need the Hakami boots, and we also have 90% crit. Also, a bad thing is that we doesn't have latent power on this set, so we can't trigger that 10% extra crit. The next point is, but that first set is also calculated with 90% crit. You can see it here in the form. The last set is augmented to affinity, and the skills are attack boost 4 and critical boost 2 with 96% crit. Here I've tested different moves from the weapon. The first damage I tested from the Switch X is the file damage. So I am going to the training area and show you the damage number for everything. Who first playing the Switch X, I gonna show you that attacks I'm making and how that attacks are working. So we do the head position changing to low because it's easier for us. And now, okay, first we do that. Okay, that's the overhead slash. You only have to press R2 if you're using PS4 controller. That file damage can't crit, so it always has the same attack. It's different if you have different hit zone values, but yes, you don't have to calculate any crit skills. And you can see with the second set, with attack boost 7 and 90% crit, so only attack boost 7, we have the highest file damage possible, it's 30. And with the other two sets we have about 28. So how to create file damage? You're gonna load up your Switch X. Best way is to use Heaven Sword Flurry like in Vault. And now with every attack you're doing, you do extra file damage. And also if you go into X mode, for example if you're doing the wild swing, you can see with every hit you doing extra file damage. So now in Rise, file damage becomes very important in Rise. So that's a green number, so we can say, okay, that's pretty important. We got more than 30 average damage with that file. Now to the next move, we have the overhead slash. You only have to press R2. And we can see with the last two sets we do exactly the same damage. And with the first set, that means with attack boost 4 and crit boost 2, we do a little bit more of damage. But I think all in all it's the same. You can see, for example, here we have 121 damage and 28 file damage, and on the second build we have 119, so less 2, but the file damage is 2 more. So all in all it's the same. You can see at the end of the day it's the same damage. So I calculated the next move. The next move heavily depends on your Switch X playstyle. I personally prefer that move. It is the, let me give it a second, it is the dive bomb finisher. This move has fixed damage, so this move also can't crit. Do always the same damage like gun lens moves or etc. You press L2 and triangle, and then triangle for a second time, and you can see you do first do a damage number and then the second proc. Actually it was 212. I do another attack, and now the mount proc, you can see it's always 212. So maybe if you heavily spam that move, I've done before, I showed for last time because I forgot the name, from the Soaring Wyvern Blade. If you heavily spam that move, you can use the set with attack boost 7 and 90% crit. But now I come to the next moves, which makes things even more interesting. The next move I tested is the double slash. Double slash is very important for uploading your switch hex gouge, and it's also a very fast movement attack. This is the double slash. Yes, you can also get file damage, and it's a move very often used. And I'm gonna show you how much damage it does. You can see by 4 the first set is the best with attack boost only 4 but critical boost 2. You do 6 in average, 5 or 6 damage more. And you also have to include that file damage. So 6 minus 2, you have 4 attack more. But I personally think on all, if you're playing a lot of sword mode, the first set is the best. And now at the last we come to the wild swing. Wild swing is a very recommended move if the monster can't move. If you have a huge amount of stamina, I'm gonna eat some rations to show that better for you. It's like an infinite attack. If you have a good stamina, this move is absolutely interesting. You can see we barely do 90 attack of all time, and now we got into the blue Sharpness Bar. I'm gonna upload the switch axe and gonna show you that we do all the time extra file damage on our Heavensward Flurry move. The wild swing, so you can see always of the time, also in sword mode, we do extra file damage on every hit. That means we have to put that extra file damage to every move. You can see on wild swing we do 83 damage and 28.5 file damage, and on the second set of attack boost 7 we do exactly 2 attack more with the file damage and 2 less with the wild swing. So you can see, like again, at the end of the day, it's exactly the same damage. So how we can make a conclusion or anything else? I think if you're playing a lot of sword moves, I recommend the first set, because the first set also has latent power with critical boost 2, which gives you 10% extra and also more stamina for the wild swing. The only bad thing is that your dive bomb finisher isn't so high like with the attack boost 7 set, but that heavily depends on your playstyle. I personally prefer the first set with attack boost level 4 and critical boost level 2, because if anytime else we got better armor pots, this set is more easy to upgrade. Okay, so I gonna show you the set I'm using. Gonna sharpen my weapon for a second, and then I go to the object box and show you the armor pieces I've used. I hope this video doesn't go too long. Set decorations. Sorry, set decorations, don't sell decorations. We are using the Knight's Crescent with attack boost level 3 and attack level 3 on the augmentations. Now to our set skills. We have attack boost level 4 on our set, razor sharp level 3, weakness exploit level 3, poison attack level 3. You can also use speed sharpening, but I personally say poison attack is very good, so you can do faster, more poison damage, critical boost level 2, power prolonger level 2, latent power level 1, speed sharpening level 1, and also wirebug whisperer. Yes. Lol, I actually recognized a mistake. I equipped Wirebug Whisperer on the set, and I actually recognized that we can choose attack boost level 4 in our Rathaler sprays. Okay. Sorry, I'm actually so stupid. I have to refresh that data. But now we can say the data from the first and the second set were barely exactly the same. So now we can come to a conclusion and can say that the first set is the best, because in this set we can also fit an extra attack tool in. Sorry. Enhancer tool, we are using attack tool. And now we have attack boost level 5. And our data from the first set is completely wrong. But I can make a second video and can refresh the data. So I can show you actually the correct set. Please use this set if you want to do the most possible damage. Sorry, I actually recognized it. I recognized it, but not too late. Okay. We are using Knight's Crescent with attack tool level 2. Attack boost level 5. Okay, we got even more attack. Channeler's Hairtie S, which gives us Razor Sharp skill, and Wirebug Whisperer with a Grinder tool. Almutron Male S with Razor Sharp and Power Prolonger, slotted in a Venom tool. Rathaler's Braces S with attack tool level 2 and attack boost level 3. The Spio Elytra S for everyone who hasn't the Weakness Exploit 2 talisman. And the Golden Hakama Boots with 2 Venom tools level 1 with critical boost and latent power level 1. Okay, so we finally have attack boost level 5. I gonna fresh up the morph until tomorrow, and I gonna give you the new data. Sorry for that mistake I've made, but now I can finally say that this set is by far the best choice you can make for the Knight's Crescent. Later I gonna compare it with other weapon types and other files. So sorry for that one mistake with that one tool I made. Yes, so see you next time. I'm gonna update this video, but it was too much work. I don't wanna delete all this data. And yes, make tomorrow a short update video. See you next time. Have fun with the set.